Alright guys, so today, this video we are going to be talking about the reasons for the seasons. And we should know by now that there is a very, very popular myth out there. And that myth states that the reason that we are hotter, so the reason we are hotter at different times throughout the year are the reasons for the seasons has to do with distance. Okay, it's commonly thought that since the Earth, we know that the Earth, here the Earth, and here we have the Sun. We have the Sun out here. We know that the Earth does this revolution around. The Earth does a revolution here around the Sun, and we might even know that it does so in this elliptical shape, kind of like an egg shape, if you will. That there are points where we're going to be closer. So you can see here that we are closer, and then parts that we are farther from the Sun. And so it would make sense in our minds to think that, well, hey, when we're farther away, it's going to be winter, and when we're closer, it's going to be summer. But if we try to follow this logic out here, I think we see some flaws pretty quickly. We know that in order to go through an entire rotation, which is what this action is here, this is going all the way around once, that one rotation is equal to 365.25 days. For people who like to be exact, we normally round it down to 365 days. And that's 1 year. That's 1 year, or that's 4 seasons. And as we go through these 4 seasons, I think we're going to see where we come into some problems. The first thing that we're going to see is if we were to have the winter over here, let's kind of start here. So let's get a different color here. Let's say that we're going to start here. Okay. By the time we get over to here, we should only be 3 months later, which would be putting us into spring. But you see that we said that since it is closer, it would be the summer. So pretty quickly we realize that the problem is with this line of thought. Although I think if you were to ask most people, they would agree. They would think that distance was actually the reason for the seasons. And there's actually another way to think about this, and I'll explain that. The problem with the distance idea is if we have a sun over here, and we're going to go ahead and we'll draw a sun over here. And if we have the Earth over here, the average distance between these two guys, so the average, let's go with this color. The average distance between these two guys is about 93 million miles. And as I've stated, previously we have that elliptical shape. And at its closest and at its farthest, the difference is only about 1 million miles. So that's closest to farthest. So if we think of that in terms of 1 million miles over the course of 93 million miles, it's not a very large distance. It would be like standing at the 93-yard line of a football field, 93 yards away. So you have a football field here, and you're right here at the 93 yards to go until you can score your touchdown. And you are going to take one step, essentially, one step closer, and now you're at the 92-yard line. I think for those of you who play football or are familiar with the game, you'd realize that you're not that much closer. And as a result, since the sun only moves about 1 million miles closer, which is a large distance, but in the terms of 93 million miles, that's why we're not going to see a large change with the heating of the Earth, because of distance. And in the next video, we're going to move on and we will talk about the actual reasons for the seasons.